The Toronto Argonauts are the oldest team in the Canadian Football League. With 18 Grey Cup championship wins, the team has a reputation for more than just winning. They are deeply involved in the community and in developing players beyond the field. Herbie Kuhn is the chaplain for the Toronto Argonauts. He invited 100 Huntley Street to a practice to see how God is working in the lives of some of these professional athletes.
The Toronto Argonauts are practicing behind us in the field. Herbie, you know what it takes for these players to come out here and train physically and work so hard. But there's something you do as chaplain of the Toronto Argonauts, and you train these players spiritually.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit more about what you're doing.
A chaplaincy role is really quite multi-dimensional, Laura. We obviously focus on the faith element. That's the chaplain's representation, the faith element, talking about the Lord, talking about Christ, and bringing that into the day-to-day mix of the life of a professional athlete. So encouraging them, educating them, teaching them, leading Bible studies, leading chapels, that kind of thing, all the things that we have the blessing of being able to do with these athletes. And it's an incredible privilege, but it's not only that. Just as equal of a part of the ministry as the formal gatherings are the one-on-one elements, the conversations off to the side, the encouraging people through difficult and challenging times in their lives, praying with people when they're going through really crummy situations, and celebrating with them when they're going through really great circumstances, right? All of that is part and parcel of being a pro sports chaplain. And in case you couldn't tell, I really enjoy my job.
You do love it. And Herbie, it's amazing to watch you here on the sidelines even. You know, prior to filming this interview, you were standing there and you're naming the athletes that are making the plays. You're saying they're doing this. Oh, you're cheering for them. Your heart is so invested with each one of them.
Yeah.
And it's really like a ministry of presence, but that presence of Jesus, being like Jesus to people in their challenging seasons, in their victories, in their struggles.
You know something, Laura? We're ambassadors, right?
Yeah.
In the same way, if we're a Canadian citizen and we go and travel abroad, we want to represent our country well. As ambassadors for Christ, as the Apostle Paul would say, I'm an ambassador for him here in this mission field that is professional sports. And so I want to bring the energy that Christ brings in building relationships and, most importantly, earning trust. Earning trust, building a rapport with players, regardless of whether they darken the threshold of a single Bible study or a single chapel over the course of the season, is engaging them in building those relationships so that when life does happen, and we all know it does, the relationships are there and it's not a complete stranger that they're approaching. And I simply love the opportunity to be here day in and day out. And hey, what's up? How's it going? When's the baby due? All those, how's the injury recovery coming along? Did you get the imaging? All those kind of conversations. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. I love Jesus and I love sports. What a cool combo.
It's so cool, Herbie, and it's so cool to see you in action. There is a big connection between professional athletes putting their identity in their sport versus possibly, we hope, God, but maybe family or other parts of their lives. Talk to us a bit about the role faith can play in keeping the identity of an athlete strong no matter what they face.
The Apostle Paul says in Acts 17, in him we live and move and have our being. No God, no us. No God, no talents, no abilities, no place or stage to practice those abilities and put them into practice. So you nailed it on the head with the word identity. As a chaplain, I feel part of our role as chaplains is to reinforce to these young men that their identity, if it lies solely in their abilities or their position on the team, that is a fragile foundation. And it can crumble to the ground, whether it's a numbers thing, whether it's a salary cap thing, whether it's an injury thing, whether it's a whatever thing. The foundation needs to be the Lord. It needs to be something strong that is immovable. And that's what God brings into the mix.
And you know what? Later in today's program, I hope we have a moment together where we can pray.
Yes.
Okay, Herbie, we're so glad you're speaking with us right now. We're so thankful for all you do for these players. It means so much to them and their families.
And at the end of the day, Laura, the most important thing is the gospel.
Yes.
having the opportunity to share what Christ has done for you and me and has done for them, and pray that they will realize that personally. That message will be reaffirmed numerous times. I can promise you.
Amen.
Amen.